In this video, we're going to be talking about the top 3 trading opportunities I'm looking at coming into next week. Big mover recently. You've probably been seeing a lot about this stock. It's pushed up to around $33 as now a recent high. So to quickly pull out onto, actually you can even see it actually on this right chart here, the amount of momentum this stock has. Gapped off the $14 earnings all the way to around $20, and since then we've really just been on a tear to the upside. Now, we have levels prepared, and how are we looking to trade this stock? So, right now, again, we're sitting within the range of $34 and $31. This 34, well, even above this 31, it's still a low risk short bias opportunity. And again, I'm more of a reversal trader. We are extremely overbought. So this is a stock I'm looking to play short bias. And so as we're above this $31, again, this is something I am happy to be hitting short bias. So anything above here, I am short. But right now we're sitting around 32. What I would ideally want to wait for, and for me to kind of get relatively bigger size, is to actually come and hit this third deviation on the 1 year. And that's at $34. We missed it by about 14 cents, which you can kind of consider it already hit. But again, we get a small size here. I'll probably be opening my position on the Monday, as long as it doesn't get down too far. Looking to trade that short bias from there. But again, if it does gap up, looking to get some more size at $34. And if we did break up, we do have 2 further levels at $35.20 and $40.50. My main focus, I don't think we'll even hit that level, so I'm not too focused on that. But I would be potentially paying attention to this $35.20, kind of using that as a range, especially kind of if we're not in now, like we're not. If on the open of Monday, you know, we kind of get a move to the upside, then 34 and 35.20 are going to be those 2 levels where I'm going to look to hit this short bias. So it's basically this range, even from where we are now, is fine, but the 31, the 34, 35 are the key levels, but anything within that range, I'm happy to get short bias at. Now, what are going to be targets? So on the way down, we have 27.50 and 26.70. That's going to be our first key zone of support. So coming into here, this is where I'll lock in, probably say 30, maybe 40% of the position. Reason for that is if we are going to continue, go even more parabolic, break to the upside, we're most likely going to touch this range first. And we can see on this stock, it has actually been trading quite nice. Whether you're a short or long bias trader, we can see it's pop up, strong pops down, pop up, pop down, pop up, pop down. So this stock has provided some really nice opportunities, whether you're a short or long bias trader. And so that's why that would be used as my key target coming into here. But again, we want to leave money on the table because more likely than not, it will continue to pull back. So then we can have targets of 22.50 and 21.10. Now that's usually when I'll get out basically the majority, if not all of my size. But if we did trade further down, the absolute final target would be this $18.25. This is statistical mean. That is considered fair value on a stock. So me as a reversal trader, I look to trade, kind of short those highs and play down into its fair value, which again is $18.25. So that basically just means that would be my absolute final target. But I'll take in a majority of size there, if not all, but I mean, well, all but if not, maybe just the majority around 22.50 to 21.10. And then if I do take any to 18.25, it'll be small, but just to kind of get that last kind of push on it. Or again, I may just lock in before that level, but that would be the absolute final target. Now, again, multiple ways you can trade this, whether that's, I don't know if the shares were actually available. It's not telling me because it's after hours. I think these were still easy to borrow though. So if it's easy to borrow, we can short the shares, buy the calls to define that risk. That's one way to trade it. The other way I'll be looking to trade it is through vertical spreads. Again, if you don't really know what they are, probably do some reviewing them first. But what they basically do is give you a time. You can say in a month down the line, I think it's going to be below $30. If it is, you make your max win. If it's not, you make your max loss. But again, these kind of stocks, they go parabolic for a short time and then you tend to see them crash back down. And that's why I like playing that strategy, because you can say 2 months down the line, it's going to be below that level. If it is, you make your max profit, and the chances are we will be below that. On that strategy though, you get defined risk, you get defined loss. So by defining your loss, obviously you are limiting your upside, but that's all fine if we can get a good win rate, which is usually the case with stocks like this. or we can just buy some outright puts. They're usually the three ways I look to trade it. Depending on your risk tolerance, you could just short the shares, but again, at least for me and on this channel, we don't like touching anything nakedly overnight, because again, you never know what a stock like this could do overnight. Say it gapped 20%, you might not be accounting for a loss like that. So if I am ever shorting the shares, I'm buying calls to define that risk. This is the next trading opportunity. We did actually get a nice trade on it on the Friday. It did provide that trade opportunity at $74.20. As you can see, this is a blue dashed line. That means it's our second deviation on the 6 month. And just to know, because I don't think I have so far this video, dashed lines mean 6 month. If it's a straight line, it means a 1 year chart. So that level was hit. If we can break higher, this is where the trading opportunity comes. If we continue this sell-off into the Monday or going into next week, then this is not going to be a trading opportunity, but I'm accounting for there might be another move to the upside. If so, I want to wait for the break of 74.20 because we have already hit it now. And I want to wait for that $76.20. The first time we come into this, again, I'm a reversal trader looking to trade that short bias. We'll look in a tiny bit and move my stops break even coming into 74.20, but really accounting for that further move down, back down to around 67.50. So that would be kind of the downside targets. If we start breaking further to the upside again, we'll get a bit of a size at 76.20. But ideally, we can actually move all the way to $81. This is the 6 month. Again, it's dashed line, so 6 month, third deviation. If we can come into here, this is really where the big trading opportunities will come. This is where I go big size, look to trade that short bias. Again, we can trade it in a number of strategies like we talked about in UPST. But yeah, really looking to trade that short bias if we can come into 81. Again, we'll take some size at 76.20. Won't be massive. My main focus is always going to be those third deviations. So if we can push all that way to $81, that's where I'm looking to trade that heavily short bias. And I didn't actually put it on the chart, so let me quickly throw this on now. But at $88.95, this is our third deviation, but on the 1 year. Again, just to show you these from the chart perspective, it looks like this. But yeah, coming into here, that would be another short bias level. Probably not going to hit that next week, even if we do get a bullish and upside move. But again, just to maybe note it for previous weeks or kind of future weeks, sorry, that could be a potential short bias level that I would be paying attention to as well. But for this week, main focus 81 and 76.20 short bias. Targets of $74, $67 are going to be those key ones. I'll probably be getting out the bulk around here just because, again, the market is a bit more bullish right now. So with these trade plans, we are trading against the overall market trend. So I don't want to take a bit more caution. And the other reason I like locking in profits a bit quicker on a trade like this is you can see this left chart is a 6 month. We are uptrending on a 6 month, but we are downtrending on the 1 year. When these two charts diverge, I like to take those profits a bit quicker because the confidence in the trade is never going to be as high as if they're both downtrending. But if we did look for lower down targets, again, I'm personally not going to trade to these levels, but we do have around that $60 range or $59 range. You got the 50 daily SMA, you then got the 100 and the 200. So you got kind of three key SMA supports in that range. So if you were trading at short bias, I think that would kind of be that final target, because that's going to be quite a hard area to break, because a lot of traders are looking at levels like that. This is another short bias opportunity. So this week, all the stocks we're looking at are kind of short bias opportunities, or at least the three main ones I pointed out in this video. We are going to post an investment video later on 3 stocks I'd be looking to invest in this week. But they're obviously, as if they're investments, they're going to be at buy level. So they'll be the same for the trading level. So if you want to check that out, there are 3 potentials trading stocks we could do to the upside as well. But to get straight into the Adobe, we can see this level hit near enough perfectly on the Friday open. Big move to the upside. We hit our second deviation on the 6 month at $466.50. Considering we've hit that, that's no longer a level I'm looking to trade short bias, because if we retest it, we're more likely to break. So what this does mean is if we can get a move to the upside on Adobe next week, I'm looking at around a 475 resistance and kind of a short bias level. Again, this would be our third deviation on the 1 year. This is a really high probable level that we start to reverse at. So again, to me, looking to trade that short bias, again, there's a handful of ways we could look to trade it. The only way I will not be trading this is through covered shares. That means shorting the shares, buying the calls. The reason for that is obviously Adobe is $450 a share, so it's just going to make a strategy like that take up a lot of capital, which are then going to be limited elsewhere. So on a stock like this, I'll probably go through the route of using vertical spreads, because the only margin you need is the debit or credit that is there. So your risk is defined from the get-go. And so yeah, it just takes nowhere near as much margin, which is going to be really beneficial on a stock that's, you know, $475 at the time we want to short it. So that would be those key resistance. If we did break that, we would have another level at 502. Just in case this stock did move quite parabolic, again, that would be another short bias level. They're basically the two trading opportunities I'm looking at short bias. Now, for the targets, if we get short bias at those levels, first target is going to be this, where we basically held our high right now, and that's at 466.5. Locking in some profits, moving stops to break evens as we come into that level. Now, if we can start to crack that and go lower, then paying attention to the 437 support. And that's really where I'll be locking in the bulk, because right below that, and I'll actually mark it on the chart now, and you can see this, I'll show you it on the deviation charts. You can see that is our first deviation on the 6 month, literally right below it. So knowing that, again, that's kind of two key supports coming into that range. So probably something you want to be a bit careful of if you're trading to the downside. So that will kind of be my final target to get out. And again, considering a stock this value, you know, that can be a big movement, but by a dollar amount, it's a big movement. And even if we catch the kind of lower of the two levels, you know, that's still an 8% move on a large cap stock. That's more than enough to kind of count as our trading opportunity. So that'll kind of be my final target to be paying attention to on the downside. So that was the key 3 trading opportunities I was looking at this week. Again, these are all short bias opportunities. These are not recommendations, just ones I'm looking at trading myself next week. Again, we'll be posting these in the Discord if we're actually entering them, and kind of other charts we're looking at, so make sure you're in the Discord if you're not already. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you will probably enjoy this video too.